Before we can begin to explain line 0, we have to go through par is a social construct. These are two different systems. Both of them can be used easily to break 90, really simply, but both can also be used to break 100. When we're talking about line 0, we have to explain par as a social construct first. Par is a social construct. What does that mean? That means they decided that par on that hole is what is necessary for a scratch golfer, or what a scratch golfer is expected to shoot on that hole. A scratch golfer. We're trying to break 90 and 100. How can we be shooting for the same things as a scratch golfer? Crazy talk. Crazy talk. Par is a social construct. Now, back in the day, there used to be a par and there used to be a bogey. So a par score would be like 72 or 71 on the course, and they'd actually have a bogey score as well, where they would feel some holes were not necessarily meant to be, that par because of the level of golf we're playing. So they used to have different pars. One would be a par 72, and the same course might be a par 77 or 78 because they'd adjust the par as needed. So as you can see, par is whatever you want it to be. Now, if you're trying to break 90, your par is 90. So what we do is we change the par of the holes by adding one stroke to every hole. So on a par 3, you're playing a par 4. On a par 4, you're playing a par 5. On a par 5, you're playing a par 6. This means that if you add that up over the whole 18 holes, it equals 90. You can change this if you're trying to break 100. So if you're trying to break 100, this is every hole we just add one shot. On these, the hardest 9, we add 2. The hardest 9 holes, that's stroke index 1 to 9, and stroke index 10 to 18, we add one shot. That's going to give you, I think, a par of 99. So now you can go ahead and try break 190 based on your par, because par is a social construct. Change it to what you want it to be. This is going to help you to reset your greens in regulation. Now, a green in regulation is one shot on a par 3, 2 shots on a par 4, 3 shots on a par 5. But if you change the par 3 to a par 4, you have to hit that par 3 in 2 shots. This par 4 changes to par 5. Hit that in 3 shots. Par 5 to par 6, and you have to hit that in 4 shots, assuming a 2-putt, which, sorry to tell you players, you have to attain by practicing putting. Having said all of that, you understand that you add 1 to the par of every hole, and if you want to break 100, you add 1 to the par of every hole, and from stroke 1 to 9, you add an extra 1, giving you a par of 99. Now, line 0 can be used for both 90 and 100. It's a bit of a different way of looking at it. Here, you're adapting your greens in regulation, you're adapting the par to your number. You can still play the course as the original par, but the hole starts after your tee shot. That's for breaking 90. What that means is you hit your tee shot, you walk to that ball, wherever it is, you're lying 0. You haven't hit a shot there because we get a stroke on every hole, remember? Now this way, you're not adapting the scorecard. This one, you adapt the scorecard with par as a social construct. Line 0 is more a mindset shift as well. Because I don't have to hit the perfect shot to hit this par 4 in 2, because when I get to my ball, I'm lying 0. So I can start this par 4 from 200 yards from the tee, from a 150-yard tee shot, whatever it is that makes you comfortable to get the ball in play. The mindset shift here is the most important, because it tells you you don't have to be perfect. You just have to advance the ball to a position that you can now go for that par 4 green in 2 from the first shot, from the tee shot, because you're lying 0. Now, if you're trying to break 100, this is also as powerful, except it's even better. Because on stroke 1 to 9, handicap index hole 1 to 9, look it up on the scorecard, you're actually line 0. If you're trying to break 100 after 2 shots. If you're trying to break 100 on that stroke 2 index hole, 425-yard par 4 that you normally crap yourself on, you get 2 free shots before you begin the par 4. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You get 2 free shots before you start the hole. 425 yards. Where could you put the ball after 2 shots to allow you to hit that green in 2 more shots. Where? 250-yard shots, bam, bam. That leaves you 300 yards. Now you got 125 yards to hit the green in 2 shots. Huh? What a life. Lion zero. Remember that. When you're on the tee, don't think about, you've got to make the perfect shot and this and that. The water's scaring me. I always go left and I have to take a drop. I always take a 7 here. No, you don't. You don't. Because what you have to do is find a position anywhere, whatever club makes you happy and comfortable, to get that damn ball in play, so that when you get to that ball, you go, oh, I'm starting a hole here. 386-yard par 4. Guess what? I just hit 180 yards with the tee. I now have 200 yards to the pin. 200 yards you have to cover in 2 shots. Pitching wedge, 2 putt, 5. Get the hell out of there. Par is a social construct. Adapt the scorecard to what you like. You can create a par 90 or par 99 course and play to that, adjusting your greens in regulation. Please always aim for 2 putts. Once you get your chipping and putting right, the scores plummet. Lion zero. Remember, you can adapt this for 90. That just means on every hole, the hole only starts after your tee shot. 200-yard par 3. Boop. Get it to 50 yards from the green. Chip it on. You're on the green in regulation. Breaking 100 from stroke index 1 to 9 on the scorecard, you get 2 shots before you start counting. So actually after your tee shot, if you're trying to break 100, you're lying -1. What a life. Go out and break your scoring barriers. Par is a social construct. Lion zero.